Past the neon lights, behind the beaded curtain, lies an industry once shrouded in secrecy, now mainstream thanks to Hollywood.
I see a lot of lawbreakers up in this house.
Strip clubs have legally operated on our shores since the 90s, with laws and regulations regularly changing to better protect workers. But while some women find the work lucrative and empowering, others say the industry is rife with exploitation, dancers facing wage theft and even sexual assault.
If a woman wishes to undertake sex work, work in a strip club, I'm not making a judgment about that at all. But I don't want to see them at personal and financial risk. My issue is not that there are unregulated venues or that venues should not be allowed to progress. But do we need any more?
Liberal MP Sussan Ley questioning whether the show should go on.
Have we not moved on from the ritual of the bucks night, of the coming of age 18th, of the objectification and commodification of women? Surely we have. And so I'm proposing a pause on the establishment of new adult entertainment strip clubs.
The Deputy Opposition Leader today calling for a national conversation on whether strip clubs still have a place in society, as locals in her Albury electorate rally against a new strip club opening.
I'm not proposing that we close clubs down. I'm sure there are clubs that are exemplars. But we do have to look at the effect of venues like this on the way particularly young men develop their attitudes for and their respect for women.
Well, Frankie Fatale is a stripper and joins us now. Frankie, what's your view about pressing pause on new strip clubs?
I think it's a really bad idea because strip clubs are amazing, but I think the whole thinking behind this is really rooted in a misunderstanding of how strip clubs work. Saying things like it's degrading to women when it's about women empowering themselves and doing what they want with their body, and then using that as a reason to not continue to let new strip clubs come about or to possibly shut down existing ones doesn't make any sense to me.
The Deputy Opposition Leader says that this is about creating respectful relationships between men and women. What are your thoughts on that?
I think implying that sex workers and strippers in particular create disrespect towards women is the definition of being disrespectful towards women. The thing is, when we're at the club, you're not allowed to disrespect us. If you are being derogatory, if you're being disrespectful, if you're touching us and we don't want to be touched, there are so many systems in place that we can use to get rid of you. And I would argue that in that environment, you're teaching men to be more respectful. I don't know a lot of jobs that let you do that when you're being disrespected by a male customer.
So do you think this isn't about protecting women in your industry, it's more of a moral outrage?
It's not. Like, I understand where the Leader of the Opposition is coming from in the fact that she wants to protect women. If we wanted to protect women in sex work, we would legalise it and we would have better services and better protections for the women in those industries, like unions, for example, rather than just saying, well, we think it's degrading, so we're going to stop your ability to make a living.
Frankie, there has been exploitation in your industry. However, we saw a number of strippers in Brisbane fight wage theft last year. Have you seen or experienced any of this?
I mean, nothing comes to mind in my mind, but the same could be said of every job. Like, that exists across the board in every job that you're in. But when these things happen in the sex industry, it gets overinflated because of the stigma behind it. And then it comes down to an argument of whether those things should even exist. And I would argue it's more worthwhile doing sex work because you work when you want and you make the money that you want.
So, Frankie, for people who think this whole thing is quite scary, I mean, you've been doing it for a while. You've won awards for being Australia's #1 stripper.
Yeah.
What do you love about it?
So many things. For me, I'm a performer. And when I walked in for the first time and saw this amazing, amazing showgirl on stage, that was when I finally went, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life rather than being an accountant or a historian or any other perfectly good job. I was like, this is for me. I love getting naked. I love performing. I love being the center of attention in the life of the party. I love being able to work when I want. I suffer from mental illness and physical disabilities from chronic illness, and so do a lot of people in my industry, which makes regular work really inaccessible to us, which is why we turn to sex work, so that we can make the money that we need in a way that suits us. So it's really given me everything I wanted out of life, and it still is.
But, Frankie, have you thought of combining it with being an accountant?
I don't think I need to be an accountant as well. I already wear way too many hats.
Frankie Fatale, thanks for your time tonight.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much, guys.